Hi, it's Paul from Booker Bees here, and today's job is going to be a cutout of a hive of European honeybees that have made their nest in a wall cavity of a residential house. So I'm going this morning to to remove those bees and the contents of the nest from within the wall cavity. I've spoken to the owners, and we've decided that under the circumstances is the best way of getting the bees out. It will mean removing the plasterboard from the inside of the room where the bees are, and cutouts generally are difficult and messy jobs, so I'll try and document as much of this bee removal as I can. I'll just show you some of the equipment that's going to be necessary for the job today. So in the back of the car here you can see it's full of equipment. I might not need all of it, but it's better to take more equipment than necessary. I have my honeybee toolkit. This is the bag I use for all my honeybee work. It's got bee brush, sharp scissors, pruners for swarms, sharp knives, hive tools. Today I've got extra stuff for the smoker and elastic bands. I've also today got a stethoscope in here, which is a bit of an odd thing to see in a bee kit, but this is just so I can have a listen to the bees in the wall. Bee vacuum at the back there, you can see hive boxes. I've got 2 hive boxes in there just in case there's more bees than I expect. I don't actually think this is a very large colony. I've been and assessed already. Lots of tubs for comb and honey and anything else that we find in the wall. Some tools, reciprocating saw, a drill and some crowbars, a hammer, etc. Those are the things I'm going to need to get the wall off, the plasterboard off the inside of the wall, and obviously on a job like this the bees are nice and placid at the moment, but I've got my bee suit here as well because I'm thinking that they won't be nice and placid when I finish the job. So we'll go over to the house now and get this job underway. Okay, we've arrived at the job. This is where the bees are getting in and out of the wall. There's a bedroom behind this wall here, and so we might give them a tiny amount of smoke just to start off with. They're placid at the moment, but I don't think they'll stay that way for too long. What's interesting here is there seems to be 2 entry points, one just there, and then there is another place just here under the windowsill. So we're all ready to start now. The bees are around about here. I can feel the warmth of the colony, and I've listened with a stethoscope and I can hear bees all the way either side. So I'm not sure how much plaster I'll have to take away here. I've prepared the room with ground sheets on the floor, some soapy water to keep my hands warm, hive, a board just for putting the brood onto the frames. In the hive box here I've got empty frames with elastic bands already attached, and you'll see what that's for later. A bee vacuum, buckets, cleaning materials, my bee kit. I've protected the bed, and you can see that I've got my tools and ready to use. So preparation, the other thing I've done is just taped up the wardrobe so no bees get into the wardrobe. So all the soft furnishings that the bees could get into have been removed from the room, and I'm going to start the job now. There's the first hole drilled. You can just see that there are some comb in there. So there's my initial cut just there. You can see a little bit of comb, nothing really in it. Here we've got some brood comb, and the bees are still relatively calm, which is good. I'm using my trusty bee vac here to keep the bees the number of bees flying around the room to a minimum, make a video just to upload, show you how my VBAC, my BVAC works. It's a very simple system. The other thing I should have said is I'm looking for the queen. So this is a queen cage. I haven't seen it yet, but hopefully I can catch the queen separately. The other thing I'd say that I've done this morning is I've been to speak to the neighbours next door. You can see the house is just next door there, just so they know I'm doing a bee extraction and to expect some whiffs of smoke and some maybe some increased bee activity, so they are aware of what's going on at the moment. Making progress one section at a time. I just want to show you this. This is the bottom piece of gyprock plasterboard that's been taken from the wall there, and you can see the inside of the plasterboard. At the bottom here, as you can see, some kind of claw marks. It looks like there's been a mouse trying to eat chlorine to get to the honey, which is common, and that's the problem, is if you see those claw marks there on the bottom of the plaster. So that's why these bee removals need to take place in such a kind of destructive way, because if you leave all of this comb, honey, brood in the wall and just kill the bees by using a pest exterminator, then you can see it attracts pests. So that's nicely illustrating the problem you can have if you just kill the bees without removing all of the nest contents. So here's the nest. If I just zoom out, you can see that this section is pretty much clear. This section is full of brood and honey at the top, and this section is where they're just moving into next. So now I'm going to remove the bees carefully, then I'm going to take the brood comb and put it into frames. I'm looking for the queen all the time. I would like to capture the queen separately, so I know I've got her. And then once we've taken the brood and put it onto frames, we'll see about getting some of this honey, and we'll then be on the cleanup operation. And also what I'm looking for is see if there's any eggs. Okay, I can see some larvae, so that's a good sign that the queen is alive here. So I'll carry on. There's a frame of brood, and you can see there's plenty more brood in there. And here we are back home now, the bees in their hive. I think I might need to add an extra box. Well, there you go, we're back, and after a busy, hot and sticky day, we've rescued the bees from the wall, and I'm now relaxing on the rocking chair on the veranda. As it happens, I managed to get all the bees out of the wall without getting stung once today, which is quite an achievement. But you can see I did manage to walk into the washing line and cut my head, not once, did the same thing twice, so there you go.